Welcome back to Fallout 3. I apologize for the audio issues from the game. I didn't realize when I was recording this session I had left my mic laying on the desk near one of the speakers and turned on. Headset, anyway. And so you've got an echo effect. I've dropped the volume down quite a bit, and of course a lot of it is sped up, so I don't think it's going to be too distracting. But unfortunately, it's a real issue. Today we are continuing on our journey from the Temple of the Union, Canterbury Commons area, south to the Corvega factory, which we did, and then heading further south after that. Oh, we get another shot at this. And we finally disarm it, but nothing's happening.
You saved my life.
Everybody's just kind of staring. Okay.
Thanks. You saved my life.
Okay. Thought we'd at least get a stim pack or something out of it. Anyway, we did the Corvega factory already. Now we're heading south from the Corvega factory. We are looking for Rock Spring Cavern. I can't remember. Anyway, it's just the other side of that ridge that we were looking at where the overpass is. We'll get a good view of it here in just a minute. Stopped to look at this house. Got a little bit of loot out of it. It also had several teddy bears scattered around, if you didn't pick that up going through it at high speed. We've got a variety of raiders scattered around the area, at least one raider encampment that we're going to need to do. Mainly what we're focusing on now, Rock Springs Cavern and Friendship Heights are the only two map markers left that we need to do in this area. Rock Springs Caverns is dungeon with a bunch of mirelurks, minor loot in it. Friendship Heights is a trigger point for several different encounters. There's a few specifically that you'll get pretty commonly. And we're just going to clear those out so we don't have any of those encounters spill over when we actually take on the National Guard Armory later. Unfortunately, Rock Springs Caverns itself actually takes a little while. Like I was saying, there's raiders all over the place through here, and we kind of need to clean out this entire sector. Bumping up against the downtown DC area, which is, you can see the Washington Monument right there. We're actually kind of in a corner of the map because, except for that little sliver at the bottom where Rivet City is and a couple of subway entrances, stuff like that, the entrance into another expansion, which is something else we're going to have to consider looking at before too long, getting some of those out of the way now that we're level 20. The DC area is kind of its own self-contained area. Not a dungeon, but it's a series. This is Rock Springs Caverns, by the way. I should have mentioned that when we were up on the overpass looking down at it. There's an encounter point right back down that alley. We're going to avoid that for now and just go ahead and do Rock Springs Caverns. But because the DC area is a series of interconnected, isolated maps that you have to get entrance to through subway areas, caverns, special other entrances. It's not just an area that you can easily walk into from any angle. We're actually kind of in the corner of the map here. We're all the way off to the east side, and we'll actually hit that. I don't know if it'll be in this session. It might be a later session where we'll actually find the edge of the map, one of the first ones that we found. And then, of course, to the south, you can't actually enter the DC area, even though that makes up a big chunk of this lower right-hand corner of the map. Every time I play this game, I forget what this area is like until I reach about right this point and see that giant cavern opening up with mirelurks in it, and then I remember that this whole thing is you're
Where?
trudging through radioactive water. Thankfully, it's the more times you do it, the more used to it you get, except for a couple of surprises. So it's not as bad as I remembered it, unless you actually try to explore every last inch of it, which is unnecessary.
Opening fire! Where? What's the matter, huh? Can't get inside your own blood? Phew! Glad that's over. Opening fire! Flank 'em!
That scared the hell out of me. My brain just didn't, you could hear him approaching right before he hit, and my brain was just processing a little bit slow, and so it was just all of a sudden, boom, I'm under attack, and I swing up and there's a mirelurk king right in my face.
Opening fire! I've got you.
You could be forgiven for thinking that that pitiful little stash earlier wasn't worth coming into the caverns. And you'd be right, it wouldn't, but this is actually the stash that we're here for. Laser rifles, a lot of energy weapons, health kits. The big thing is, you know, the 2 decent laser rifles, which is really great for Lucy, who I don't have with me. Except that pretty quick I'm going to be getting, I think, something that's probably better for her than the current laser rifle she has, which kind of makes part of this, I guess, a little bit moot. But, you know, anyway, this is what you're actually here for. There's all sorts of good stuff way back in this stash. And of course, you know, fighting mirelurks, I guess, is worth the time and effort. Oh yeah, power fists too.
Open fire!
Time to see what's around the corner. And this is not exactly what I was expecting. I really figured raiders. I forgot that this is one of the possible encounters, is masters and overlords with heavy weapons. And I also forgot something else when I started this, considering they're both firing missiles and chain guns at me, is that there are a whole bunch of cars that can explode right behind me.
Holy shit!
Nice shot. And I mean, that's the framing of the visuals is what I meant. And I think I just blew up Brianna. I think, isn't that her lying on the... Nope, there she is. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and pick up this minigun and missile launcher, and I think I'm going to be able to get probably a couple more pretty quick. Because I don't know about the minigun per se, but the missile launcher will probably be handy in the National Guard depot. Because the National Guard depot is absolutely crawling with robots, and of course, while Mr. Gutsy's and Robotrons and Robobrains, Protectrons, Robobrains, and Mr. Gutsy's are usually not that big of a problem. Mr. Gutsy's can be because of the flamethrower, the flamer that's included. That can be problematic. But the National Guard Depot also has a whole bunch of fully powered sentry bots, and sentry bots come with one arm is a minigun and the other arm is a rocket launcher, and that can do a lot of damage really fast.
Good riddance. I've got. You like that? Look here. Hurry to me.
Okay, that I think has got all of this particular area cleared out. I probably should go ahead and head back further east and finish that out that way. But it seems like I run into a lot of loot right outside of the depot too. I can't remember for sure, so I think it's time to go ahead and go and sell everything off, fix everything. Don't want him to get caught up on the scenery.
Please, enjoy my selection of high-quality problem solvers.
I don't think there's anything all that special going on at this point. It's just the standard, isolate any of the odds and ends out that I need for building things at the workbench, selling everything else. I've got to unload 2 of us, so I've got to sell all my stuff. Then I've got to unload Brianna, sell that. And then I think that I've got to run over about half the wasteland after that to sell other things. So if you need to, you can skip forward. Like I said, I've got this on high speed, and there's only a minute or 2 left, I think. And it's just going through and clearing out inventory and filing everything again. Then getting everything set up in the end to head right back out to do the National Guard Depot.
Here. You've
I hope things are going well for you today, madam.
Hey there. What do you need? Whoa now. Be careful. Got. Oh. I just want to.
Have you come to talk to me? Hello there. Nice to see you.